on our hypertension workshops. So we'll have one obviously today and then for the next 3 weeks. So next week we'll be talking about high blood pressure medications. The September 1st we'll be talking about urgencies and emergencies with hypertension. And the last program on September 8th will be on lifestyle modifications. So hope that you'll be able to join us 10 o'clock on those Tuesdays. We don't expect that it will go a full 2 hours, but we have a lot of that time in case there are some question and answers. Wanted to remind you all that where you found your registration information, there is also a link to find the program evaluation and some questions about your diagnosis of hypertension. This information, along with a pre-diabetes screening checklist, should be returned and mailed to the Windsor Health Department. And each time you do that, you are eligible for a gift card to Windsor Center. So please return that information. You may receive up to $25 to use here in Windsor. All right. Also wanted to remind you that this is an educational workshop. And so we want to avoid addressing any personal clinical information because of the privacy concerns. So again, it's an educational workshop. I'm going to turn it over to Barbara Chamberlain, who is a nurse with experience in cardiology. And at the end, there will be some time for question and answers. And Barb is comfortable answering questions as we proceed through the workshop as well. And with that, I'll turn it over to Barb.
I don't know.
Excuse me, but I can't see anybody else's picture. Elaine, Adher,
Yeah.
Jose. They might have to do the same thing I did. I don't know.
I would, just because there was a question from the state about whether or not they're going to be recorded, I would ask them to maybe not share their video just as precaution.
Okay, so ladies, there was some concern from our grant provider, the state of Connecticut. Let me get on camera. Showing pictures of you all because this program is getting recorded and would be available to be watched once it's archived. And so to avoid having your pictures attached to this, we're not going to have your pictures as a part of the recorded version.
So yeah, we're going to ask them to not share their
So
cameras.
we're going to ask you not to share your cameras, and the recording will include the speaker only. But you can still,
But we can't even see the other people that we're sharing this with. I don't think that's quite fair. I'd like to see who I'm working with.
and I understand, but it was a state concern because once it's recorded, then you're going to be out in our archived workshop where other people would see that you attended.
You can't subtract the pictures when you're ready to show it to the whole world.
No, we
You can't do that. Is that right?
That's right.
That's what's on the screen, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
They would interfere with on the screen. So we'll continue to get some confirmation of that, knowing what your response is, that you would like to do that. And you could certainly add that to the program evaluation. So we could share that with the state.
Okay.
Okay, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I belong to several other Zoom things, and the pictures are always there. But
They are, but this is a little different because we're recording it and then placing it on the website.
I see. Okay. All right.
All right, so
I keep waiting to see who they are. You know, I don't know if you couldn't show us each other and then subtract them.
Well, you're stuck looking at me.
at the end of the program,
So,
they want to have a
We're going to
meeting.
start. I'm Barbara Chamberlain. Hi and welcome. I'm an RN with many years of cardiac nursing experience, the majority of it in cardiac exercise testing and cardiac rehab at St. Francis. I also was employed by a group of cardiologists for 20 years as an office RN and an exercise test technologist. Today, the topic I will be presenting is adherence to high blood pressure therapy. One note to mention here is high blood pressure and hypertension mean the same thing, hypertension being the medical term, and I will use both interchangeably. one quick little, if you have any questions or you want a clarification on something and it's a quick question, feel free to interrupt me as we're going through. There will also be time for questions at the end of the discussion. Jenny, as far as downloading the two that I'm going to present, they
Yes.
can do it on the Windsor
Website.
website, Windsor Public Health
Yes.
Department website. I have two handouts for you. Should you want them, you can download them and then print them off of the Windsor Public Health website. But I will have them behind me as I'm explaining them to you. A bit of a course overview. In this discussion of adherence to high blood pressure therapy, the main points that we're going to be discussing are going to be the importance of your adherence to your doctor's prescribed therapy, a review of lifestyle modifications. It's going to be a quick review because you're going to have a class more in depth on all of that. When is that, September?
The lifestyle modifications
Right,
is on September 8th.
so on September 8th. And that will be a more in-depth discussion of the lifestyle modifications. But you need to know and understand the lifestyle modifications to be able to adhere to them. So you're going to have a bit of information from me, and then you're going to have quite a bit more information in a subsequent class. For each lifestyle change, I'll provide suggestions, ideas, and tips to help you stick to your new regime. You pretty much want to make changes that are going to result in a habit. And I'm going to use that word habit all the way through here. You need to make them habits. I will also include resources and support systems to help you along until these changes are a consistent part of your daily life and a habit. I'm also going to give you some questions to discuss with your doctor at your follow-up appointments. And if you've participated in this series of programs and you're here today, I know you've got the desire to obtain the knowledge of hypertension, and you want to obtain the changes of your lifestyle and to adhere to your prescribed high blood pressure therapy. Adhere to your prescribed high blood pressure therapy is hopefully going to result in controlling your blood pressure. It's very easy to become complacent. There's a lot of excuses. My blood pressure's not that bad. I forgot my meds. I didn't gain weight. It's too hot. It's too cold to go outside and exercise. Sorry, poor excuses. Stick with your prescribed plan until it becomes a habit, with the result of hopefully controlling your blood pressure. Now, the importance of adherence to your prescribed high blood pressure therapy. Adherence is the extent to which a person's behavior, such as taking medication or following a specific diet, corresponds with the recommendation of your healthcare provider. Hypertension is a chronic disease. It requires long-term therapy, and it's a few things that are impossible to control. Your genes, your gender, your age, your racial background. You can't do anything about those, but you can change your lifestyle to make a more healthy lifestyle, and you can control your blood pressure. In doing so, you may be able to decrease the amount of antihypertensive medication you needed to control it and prevent the complications of high blood pressure. The two biggest complications of uncontrolled high blood pressure are stroke and cardiovascular disease. By cardiovascular disease, I mean blood vessel blockages and heart attacks. It is important to take care of yourself. Each hypertensive individual must carry out different self-care activities to manage their blood pressure. And that's why you have a physician to prescribe a specific routine for you. It's a waste of his time if you don't follow it. So I'm going to start my review of lifestyle modifications beginning with the diet. And weight loss is the most effective means of decreasing your blood pressure. You should discuss this with your healthcare provider on optimum weight for you with reasonable goals. 2 ways to lose weight: decrease the amount and type of foods you eat and increase your activity level. So if you decrease your calories and you increase your activity level, you're going to lose weight. In losing weight and maintaining a normal body weight, you can expect an average blood pressure reduction in range between 5 and 20 millimeters of mercury. There's also the DASH eating plan, or dietary approaches to stop hypertension, and that's often recommended. The DASH diet suggests you follow a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, low-fat dairy products, having a reduced content of saturated and total fat. Chicken and fish, low in fats, red meat is not. By following the DASH eating program, an average decrease in blood pressure could be 8 to 15 millimeters of mercury. A low salt or sodium diet will be important also. Salt is sodium, and excess sodium in the blood holds on to water or fluid, which in turn increases the amount of blood volume, or the amount of blood being pumped around the body, which in turn causes an increase in blood pressure. That's why some of you may take a diuretic or a water pill. Lasix is one of them, which causes you to use excess fluid through urination to decrease your blood pressure. So don't use too much salt. As far as alcohol consumption goes, none to a moderate amount is best. Moderate would be no more than 1 drink per day, which equals 12 ounces of beer, a 5-ounce glass of wine, or 1 ounce of liquor. There are a lot of no's in any of these weight loss diets, so I'm going to give you some suggestions, tips, and ideas to help you stick to the diet and make it a healthy lifestyle change. A real easy one: eat on a smaller plate. You can't put a large serving on a small plate, and no seconds. Make a list of your favorite healthy foods and eat them. Use a lot of fruits and vegetables without sugar or butter, and those are low in calories. To avoid sugary or alcoholic beverages, drink more water. There are many, many recipes for tasteful but low-fat, low-calorie, and low-sodium foods to control high blood pressure. You can try cookbooks, excuse me, from the library, or browse and buy one from Barnes & Noble. Read magazines such as Eating Well. Those recipes include calories and fat and sodium content. Google recipes for a DASH diet on the computer and try some new ones. When grocery shopping, read the labels to check calories, fat, and sodium in all processed foods. But limit the processed foods, as many of them are high in fat and salt. Also, when grocery shopping, take note of how you shop around the store. Most stores have the fruits, vegetables, meat, and dairy on the perimeter of the store and the processed foods in the middle. Snacks also in the middle of the store, so stay away from the middle of the store. As for the sodium restriction, Limit the amount of salt you use when you prepare your food. There are salt substitutes available, and they're located near the regular salt in the grocery store. You can give them a try. Don't put the salt shaker on the table. Keep it away. To have to get up from the table to get it will remind you and hopefully discourage you from using it. If ethnic cooking poses a problem for you with sodium and fat control, you can try to meet with a dietitian for suggestions. She may help with food substitutes with a good nutritional value and a low sodium content. She's a helpful resource for you to make culturally important foods that are helpful to you and your family. If you are limited on the foods you can purchase due to cost, try to consume a variety of different food groups and buy fruits and vegetables that are in season and check the circulars to use to monitor the sales for the week. A dietitian can also help with suggestions in shopping healthfully on a low budget. One other option too would be to plant a small garden. Lettuce and tomatoes are easy to grow. Allow some flexibility for a favorite food occasionally. You don't want to be so rigid and feel so restricted that you get frustrated and give up. So at some point you can say, yep, I did pretty well this week, a small bit of a favorite food. A quick review of the things that I just discussed. Try the DASH eating plan. Make sure you have a low sodium intake. Eat on a small plate and drink a lot of water. Eat more fruits and vegetables. Find new healthy recipes. Shop for in-season fruits and vegetables and watch the circulars for sales. And if you're still having problems, see if you can get in touch with a dietitian for some help. Now, I hope these suggestions help you adhere to your diet and create good, healthful eating habits for you and your family also. Another very important lifestyle change is exercise. Exercising regularly and being physically active has multiple benefits. It will help you lose weight and help you control your blood pressure. In addition, your risk for heart disease, diabetes, and colon cancer diminishes. Exercise helps your mood, helps to decrease insomnia. Approximately 70% of older adults are considered sedentary or engage in no physical activity at all. Increasing your activity, in addition to lowering your blood pressure, keeps you physically fit. Being physically fit will help with physical functional abilities as you age. It keeps you more limber and it gives you helps contribute to better balance. A lack of regular exercise causes the heart to pump less efficiently and the blood vessels to have less tone and elasticity. I have pointed out benefits of routine exercise, which hopefully will encourage you to pursue and adhere to an exercise program. Your physician will suggest an exercise such as swimming or jogging, but most of the time simply walking. There are a multitude of venues available to accomplish that, and it's starting with your neighborhood. Or you can join a fitness club, a gym, a live program, walk in the mall. Medicare also offers a program called Silver Sneakers, and you can join certain gyms free of charge. Now, exercise to be beneficial to anyone must be done regularly. It needs to become a habit. There's my word again, habit. Exercise, it does not have to be a major time commitment. You just need to incorporate it into your schedule. You also must walk at a moderate pace for 30 to 40 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week. And that, you need that in order to get a cardiovascular benefit. A beginner could start at 3 days a week and gradually increase it to 5. You could start at 10 minutes or 15 minutes and increase at 5 minutes once a week and get yourself up to the 30 and 40 minutes recommended. And you really also need a consistent walking schedule. Make a schedule that works best for you and write it down. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 8 o'clock, you walk for 30 to 40 minutes. It's on your schedule. You do it 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that's your exercise. It's written in stone. It's a habit. I walk 5 days a week at 6:30 to 7 in the morning. It's my habit. If I don't, I feel a bit out of sync. I'm used to it. I've been doing it for years, and I like it. Jenny does too. Try not to set self-defeating goals. Exercise in moderation and follow your healthcare provider's advice. Some tips to help you commit to your exercise program. A big one is get a walking buddy. Walking with a spouse, a friend, a neighbor at a specific time is helpful because it's a motivator to know someone's waiting for you to go out and walk. Walking and talking makes the time fly by, but just don't talk so much that it slows you down and you're not walking at a moderate to a brisk pace. It's also important to pay attention to what you wear. You need to wear some comfortable sneakers and socks and dress appropriately for the season. Light cotton in the summer and layers in the winter. Not much is more discouraging than to be freezing cold or dripping with sweat or have blisters on your feet because you didn't dress appropriately. If it is warm out, take a water bottle with you because it is important to stay hydrated. One point I do want to make is you need to stay safe. Be aware of your surroundings, be careful, and watch where you're walking. An exercise program is supposed to be beneficial, not injurious. You don't want to trip and fall or get hit by a bike or a car. Please be careful. Another thing to use for an encouraging thing for you would be to keep an exercise diary. Walking regularly for 1 week, regularly for a month, and then a year. The diary will show you your progress and give you a sense of accomplishment. And then you can reward yourself, not with a fattening food, but with a trip to the movies or a concert or things that you would enjoy. Feel success for a goal accomplished, then set another goal. Your healthcare provider may recommend a supervised exercise program, sometimes called a cardiac rehab program. These programs are usually offered through a hospital, and to enroll in a program, you would need a referral from your doctor, and most likely you're going to need an exercise test. These programs are beneficial on many factors. Obviously, it's an exercise program, and it has a set schedule. So there's set days and times for you to choose and hopefully adhere to. It has staff available to monitor your blood pressure and heart rate and also answer any questions that you may have. If necessary, they can refer you to dietitians and other ancillary services. Now, Manchester Hospital, Johnson Memorial Hospital in Enfield, and St. Francis Hospital all have maintenance programs for hypertensive patients. I'm not that familiar with Manchester or Johnson Memorial Hospital's cardiac rehab programs, but I can give you some information about St. Francis Hospital's program. St. Francis offers a maintenance program on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7:15, 8:30, 9:45, and 11 a.m. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 in the morning. Each session is 1 hour, and the cost is $5 per session. It's held on the second floor in St. Francis Hospital, and they may validate parking. They used to. I'm not certain whether they do at this time or not. Once you decide that you're going to enter the program, the first visit involves spending 1/2 hour with an exercise with an exercise physiologist to evaluate your medical issues and physical fitness. And then he or she will prescribe an exercise program specifically for you. So you would follow that exercise program while you're there and walking around the gym. Following that, a 1/2 hour will be spent with a dietitian discussing your diet and providing direction and support. During each class, your blood pressure and heart rate are taken and recorded both before and after your exercise session. It's helpful for both you and your doctor. Since this is a routine scheduled class, you'll meet others with hypertension. There becomes a bit of camaraderie within the group, and it is fun. If you pick one class and you go to the same one every day, rather than jumping around to the different times, you'll get to,
You can't listen to somebody that
Pardon?
doesn't have it.
Pardon? Could you repeat that, please?
Can we help you? I'm not sure who was talking. Was there a question?
It's not. So we'll continue here. While you're walking around the gym, you can hook up with one of the other participants, and you can carry on your conversations and visit with everyone else after you're doing your program, as long as they are walking at a similar pace as you are. You all have high blood pressure. You all provide each other with support and encouragement, and the participants chat among themselves as they walk. What problems they had, what worked for them, what didn't, tips to solve problems. Something that worked for them may work for you. What foods that are low fat and low calorie are favorites of theirs, and they'll pass the recipe on to you. Many recipes are shared there. Resources are shared. You will find buddies to walk with, make new friends, and get your blood pressure monitored 3 times a week. Pretty good for $5. If you can't make a session, if you can't do a full workout or walk, remember, anything is better than nothing. It strives to be physical. Yes? Strive to be physically active. Keep moving. Walk, golf, dance, bowl. Do you have a question? You need, Lori here. You need to keep moving. If you exercise, you burn calories, you lose weight. You deserve to feel good. A quick summary of the tips to adhere to your exercise program: get a walking buddy, set a specific time to exercise, keep an exercise diary, and consider the possibility of going to a cardiac rehab program. My next lifestyle modification is to stop smoking. Smoking, in addition to increasing your blood pressure, is a risk factor for coronary artery disease and can cause multiple pulmonary diseases. I will offer you some smoking cessation guidelines. There's an enormous amount of information online about smoking cessation. Just Google it. A starting point would be to list your reasons for quitting and to pick a quit day. Speak with your doctor about medications to help you quit smoking. These would include nicotine replacement skin patches, gums, lozenges, inhalers, or a nasal spray. These you would begin on your quit day. There are also non-nicotine meds which reduce nicotine withdrawal symptoms by mimicking how the nicotine affects your body. Inquire at your pharmacy if your medicine has a savings card. That would decrease your cost quite a bit. There are national and local support programs to help you quit. The National Cancer Institute has online tools for designing and implementing a quit plan for yourself. There is another one called the Truth Initiative, and it's www.become, BECOMEANXEX.org/ www.BECOMEANEX.org/. And they provide chat services, they provide text messaging or apps for cell phones, they provide support and coping strategies. And it seems that these cell phone-based services increase smoking cessation success. So that would be a good one to look into. Some simpler strategies to help you adhere to your need or desire to quit smoking. List your smoking habits and triggers. Do you smoke when you're stressed? Do you smoke right after a meal? Recognizing some of these patterns will help you determine when you need support and when you need a distraction. Tell your family and friends so they can provide moral support for you and help you, and they can help you plan activities to get your mind off smoking. Go for a walk. Be sure to ask friends not to smoke around you. It's suggested that you clean your house and your car. Get rid of cigarettes, cigarette lighters, matches, ashtrays. Wash all your clothes and with lingering tobacco odors. Clean upholstered furniture and curtains smelling of cigarette smoke. Clean your car, air it out. Anything to get rid of the cigarette and smoke odors. Before your quit day, try and stock up on substitutes for a cigarette. These would include sugarless gum, hard candy, carrot sticks to put in your mouth. Get a squeezed wall to keep your hands busy, or knit if you can. Schedule a dental cleaning. A cleaning may remove nicotine, tobacco stains, and a fresh start with clean teeth is a motivation not to smoke. Drink plenty of water or low-calorie fruit juice. And avoid places, situations, and people that trigger your urge to smoke. Attend a support group, counseling session, or a cell phone-based support program. Keep your mind distracted with a book, a crossword puzzle, a card game. If you're still having strong cravings, speak with your doctor about starting a medicine or adjusting your medication plan to better control your symptoms for cigarette craving. So, in summary, you can check online programs, recognize your smoking habits, and triggers. Recruit your family and friends for support. Get rid of the cigarettes, lighters, matches. Clean your clothes, your furniture, your curtains, your car to get rid of lingering cigarette odors. Stock up on cigarette substitutes like hard gum, hard candy, carrots. Something to put in your mouth when you have the urge to smoke. Schedule a dental cleaning and avoid places and situations that trigger your urge to smoke. If you're still having trouble, speak with your doctor about a medication or a medication change to stop your smoking. One last lifestyle change beneficial to you in lowering your blood pressure is stress management. Repressed anger, high anxiety, and insomnia all increase stress levels. A simple way to manage stress is to simplify your schedule. When requests for your time or a commitment are made to you, use the word no. I'd like to, but it's just not possible now. Know and respect your limits. If it isn't enjoyable for you, don't do it. Write yourself a note to remind you to simplify your day so you're not rushing anxiously about trying to get everything finished. Schedule a weekly massage for yourself. Treat yourself. Stretching and relaxing your muscles is a good way to de-stress. You can try a yoga class. You can sign up for one at a yoga studio, town adult ed programs, or the Y. It is at a specific time, and if you go with a friend or make new friends there, or find out how much you enjoy it, you will be motivated to continue on a routine basis. Buy a relaxation tape, a CD, or download an app on your phone. Practice the relaxation techniques suggested along with them. Schedule a time of day for this when you tend to become more frazzled. Try it, you might like it. I got a tape from a yoga instructor. I wasn't very good at yoga, but I did use the relaxation tape and I found it to be so relaxing it could almost put me to sleep, and I never sleep during the day. I think they're very good. It might be a good one to try. Sign up to volunteer. Doing something that interests you, and it is a diversion from your life, and you will feel better and have a sense of satisfaction from helping others. It's also a form of commitment to an organization that you need to adhere to. So get your spouse or a friend and plan to do things that make you smile and laugh and relax. So don't overcommit to requests for your time. Try yoga, try relaxation tapes, and volunteer. You have heard many tips to change to a healthy lifestyle. Leave notes for yourself. Have a daily to-do list incorporating your new habits. Have your friends and family support, encourage, and motivate you. We have covered lifestyle modifications and tips to adhere to each. I'm now going to discuss your medication adherence recommendations. The former Surgeon General of the United States, C. Everett Koop, said, "Drugs don't work if patients don't take them." So, a study done 2 years ago found that for every 100 prescriptions of all types of medications, not just those that you take to treat hypertension, but for all medications, 100 prescriptions, only 48 to 66 of them are filled and taken home. And only 25 to 30 of them are taken properly. So that's not a very good statistic. The major causes of poor blood pressure control after being prescribed the medications are not taking your pills at all and not taking them in the correct quantity or at the right time. To avoid this, start by listening to what your doctor is telling you when he prescribes the medication. If you think you might forget, or you think you feel a little bit confused, ask him or her to write it down for you. Have him note the name of the medication, the dosage of the medication, and when during the day he wants you to take it. Most doctors will not give you a written prescription. They will send the prescription directly to your pharmacy. So you can stop on the way home and pick up the prescription. When you pick up your medication, read the bottle and the directions on how to take it. One thing to keep in mind, if you find that the cost of your prescribed medication is a problem, speak with your pharmacist or call your doctor and ask to speak with his nurse and explain the situation. Very often, physicians' offices will have samples to give you or have information on copay assistance programs through the company that manufactures the medication. You can also Google the medication to search online for discount copay cards. You have to Google the manufacturer and you would get the copay card from them. The discount cards or copay assistance programs can save a significant amount of money, but you must meet their qualifications. Some of them will not allow a person on Medicare to participate in a copay program. So you need to review that before you start filling out any of their online paperwork. These copay programs are offered only on the newer drugs. The medications that have been around for quite some time, such as, Lasix, a diuretic is one of them. They are not all that expensive and they are not going to have any assistance cards. You can inquire at the pharmacy if they are able to find a lower price for you. Many pharmacies offer a free savings review. You just have to ask them. Walmart pharmacy is another option. You can give them a call and ask how much they charge for your medication. Their prices can be much less expensive than the bigger drugstores, than CVS or Walgreens. So you may want to give a double check with them. Always get the generic drug. It's always much cheaper. And as long as your doctor approves, go that way. There really aren't too many drugs that the doctors will not let you get a generic brand for. But some of the very newer medications are not generic yet, and they are the ones that are going to tend to be expensive. But they are also the ones that you may be able to get a discount coupon for. Some simple ideas to help you adhere to your medication schedule. One is using the days of the week pill box. They're not very expensive. I got this one, it was $1 at the dollar store. You can sit down on Sunday evening and fill in each one of the little cubicles for the days of the week, and they have mornings and evenings. It's a good idea when you use this to put it somewhere visible for you. Put it on the kitchen table, put it on the counter so that you see it, and it'll remind you to take your pills. When you're trying to figure this out, it's a good idea to match the time to take your medication with your daily routine, such as when you arise, at mealtimes, at bedtime. And take the pill at the same time every day. If you miss a dose, don't double up on a dose the next time you take them. The other option that you have would be the medication schedule. Now, I made this medication schedule for my father, and it worked out great. Used it for years, and he loved it. You can download and print this off and put in the name of the medication over here, the dosage, and why you take it. So if you take Lasix, it's a diuretic or a water pill. Now, if you take, it's either Lasix or furosemide. Furosemide being the generic of Lasix. So write the name of the medication off your pill bottle here. Write the dosage, 20 milligrams, 40 milligrams, write that in there. And why you take it. It's for your blood pressure. So, and I mean, you can abbreviate it, just put HBP for your high blood pressure. And then check off. You take it in the morning at breakfast time, check it off. If you're taking a diuretic, you better take it in the morning at breakfast time. You don't want to take it at bedtime because it'll keep you up going to the bathroom all night. And you can do this with all of your medications. If you take a medication for diabetes, write it down, the dosage, why you take it, and check off when you take it. I would put this on the kitchen table or the counter. You can put this out, put your pill box right on top of it, or a pill bottle by it, whatever you want. But this will remind you to take your pills and when. It's a simple schedule, but it's a good reminder. You can also set up a digital reminder on your calendar on your phone. It would beep or alert you to when during the day you need to take your medication. You need to make taking your medication a part of your daily life, just like brushing your teeth. It may also be helpful to have your spouse or family members know what you're taking, and that way they can remind you to take your medication. One important thing, and my father made this mistake once, I'll never do it again. It's necessary to keep refilling your prescription. If your cardiologist or your primary care physician prescribes a medication for your high blood pressure and you look at your pill bottle and it says 0 refills, that does not mean you're done. You need to refill that prescription. The pharmacy will call your physician to obtain more refills. You just have to call the pharmacy. Even better, have your pharmacy put your medications on automatic refill, and they will take care of everything and call you when it's ready to pick up. One thing to note, most physicians' offices will not refill your medication unless you are seen in the office on a yearly basis. If you are taking antihypertensive medication, your medical provider will need to evaluate how your medications are working, how well that medication is controlling your blood pressure, and increase it or decrease it accordingly. If you don't go to your follow-up appointments, how are they supposed to know? Pharmacies will do many things to make it easier for you to remember to take your pills. You can take advantage of their automatic refill programs. They have blister packs that they'll put your pills pre-packaged for the day. They have home delivery. CVS does have handouts for blister packs by their pharmacy. They will fill all of your medications at the same time. You just have to ask. If your insurance company allows it, you can get a 90-day supply versus a 30-day supply if that's easier for you. Do not stop taking your medication if you think you are having a side effect or you fear its side effects. Speak to your pharmacist or call your doctor. Both will be very happy to answer any questions related to your medication. If you are prescribed a medication to control your hypertension, it is important to be consistent and diligent when you take your pills. A confusion over the number of pills you take daily or missing a few doses could be fatal. I will now spend a bit of time on adhering to your periodic home blood pressure monitoring. I'll give you a few tips and ideas to remember to do so and continue it on a routine basis. Your doctor or nurse will instruct you on how frequently they would like for you to check your blood pressure and at what high point they would like you to notify them. It's important if your blood pressure is high to call your physician and notify them that day, not next week. Extremely high blood pressure can cause complications, which you'll hear about, and you'll wind up in the emergency room. When had you called your doctor in the beginning, he may have had a medication changed to you or said, I want you to come into the office today or tomorrow and see you. Beneficial to have your Medicare provider or your medical provider give you a blood pressure range that's acceptable and a goal to strive for. Make sure you get that from him, because if he doesn't tell you where he wants your blood pressure to be, you don't know what you're shooting for. You don't have a goal. Make a note on your calendar when your blood pressure is checked, when your blood pressure check is due. Ask him, how frequently does he want you to check your blood pressure? Make a note on a calendar or put a Post-it note on your medication schedule that Mondays and Wednesdays, Mondays and Fridays, he wants you to check your blood pressure. The Windsor Public Health Department has provided you with a blood pressure tracking device. It's a chart for you to record each blood pressure you check. And you could also pencil in, after you've taken your blood pressure, pencil in when the next blood pressure check is due. And then keep this by your med schedule or your pill box so that you know all of your things are together and you know when you need to get your blood pressure checked again. Local churches, the Windsor Public Health Department, they all offer free blood pressure screenings you might want to take advantage of. Blood pressure screenings here are held on the first Wednesday of each month, right?
They have been put on hold
because of the
our
COVID.
restrictions and
Okay.
social distancing.
Well, they used to be on the first Wednesday of each month, but they're on hold because of the coronavirus restrictions. It is important to bring your record of home blood pressure readings with you to your follow-up doctor's appointments. That provides information to the physician on your response to your recommended medical therapy in your home environment. So please don't forget to bring your tracking chart or whatever you have your blood pressure readings on with you. This is just a convenient all-in-one place thing to have it rather than pieces of paper all over the place. Now, you will also be scheduled for follow-up visits with your healthcare provider. It's important that you show up for those visits. Be it with your physician or an APN or a nurse practitioner, these follow-up visits are important. They offer the doctor or the nurse time to review your home blood pressure readings, your adherence to your lifestyle changes, and the efficacy of your drug therapy. It offers you the opportunity to ask questions and seek encouragement from them. I have a list that I've made for you of some pertinent questions that you may want to ask your doctor when you go for your visits. This is one of the other ones that you can download and print off from the public health website.
Those, they're not
Sure.
showing up.
Oh, no, I'm going to.
Oh,
I'm going to go over all of them. It offers you the opportunity to ask questions and seek encouragement from them. It's a good idea when you first start high blood pressure therapy that you ask the physician what is the frequency of your routine visits. It will be more frequent when you first start out with the diagnosis of hypertension, and it may taper down depending on how well controlled your blood pressure is or isn't. Inquire about I'll review all of these questions again and what the handout shows in a few minutes.
Excuse me, I have another appointment at 11:15. I have to leave. But
Oh.
thank you. Thank you for everything you've said so far, and I look forward to next week. Is this just an hour or is this an hour and a half? So I know for future planning.
It's a little over.
Right,
But-
you're scheduled from 10 to 12, but we expect they'll finish in more like an hour and a half.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, but I have to leave right now. Okay.
Bye, Edna.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. Where was I here? Also, ask when you're in with a follow-up visit and the initial visit with the diagnosis of hypertension, also inquire about what your blood pressure is at that visit and ask what your blood pressure goal should be and at what point in your blood pressure readings do they consider too high for you and would like you to notify their office that day. Don't procrastinate with that. Call, leave a message with the secretary, call to ask to speak with the nurse and let them know what your blood pressure is and ask the doctor to call you back. If you are having difficulty trying to stop smoking, discuss it with him. Are you looking for a prescription to help with your wish to stop smoking or looking for a local support group for those trying to quit? Ask. Problems with your diet, you can ask him for a referral to a dietitian for help or ask if he has any handouts in his office to give you, any diets that he prefers. As far as your medications are concerned, it's wise to question your healthcare provider until all of your concerns are addressed. You don't want to leave his office confused over the medications, dosage, frequency of taking them. If a new drug is prescribed, have your physician write it down for you and review it with you. If you don't understand his instructions, ask for clarification, please. They'd be more than happy to do that. Better to be safe than sorry if you didn't understand and took your pills incorrectly. Ask what side effects there are and what you need to be aware of, such as dizziness. You need to know that. Most side effects can be managed with a dosage adjustment. If you are experiencing mild side effects, this is the time to discuss them with him. It's easier to discuss them face-to-face than it is over the phone and to play phone tag. He called you, you're waiting for his phone call. Anything you want to discuss with a new medication about the side effects, ask him at that time. He or his staff, if the cost of your medication is a concern, discuss that with him at that point also. He or his staff may be able to hand you a box of samples or provide you with information on some manufacturers' copay programs. If the cost of your medication is too expensive for you, ask if it's possible to prescribe a less expensive drug. If you are considering a cardiac rehab program, you do need a referral to those. So ask your physician for that. If your healthcare providers recommend a plan of treatment for your hypertension, they are also a support system for you. They know your treatment program. They're there to answer any of your questions. Get to know them. Feel comfortable with them discussing your health concerns with them. If you don't ask, how will they know? Keep a list of questions and concerns you would like to discuss and bring it along with your blood pressure readings to all of your follow-up visits. In doing so, you won't forget any questions. When you get home and you say, oh, I wish I'd asked him that, write it down and keep it with everything else. Now, some other sources of help and information on high blood pressure and the medications used to treat them would be your physicians, nurses, and staff, dietitians, local pharmacies, and others with high blood pressure. There's also the media, TV, newspapers, magazines about health and nutrition, and of course, the internet. Now, I'm just going to tell you what questions I have as a quick review that are on this handout. What is my blood pressure today? What is my blood pressure goal? Can you give me a prescription for a smoking cessation medication? Can I have a referral to a cardiac maintenance program, and which one would you recommend? Will you please write down my new medication and instructions on how to take it? What are its side effects? How much does it cost? Do you have any samples I could have? When is my next visit scheduled? What is the frequency of my follow-up visits? When is my next? Well, be sure to ask about any side effects you think you may be having. Ask about any concerns you may have. You have his time when you go in for your follow-up visit. Ask any questions or concerns you may have. We have discussed lifestyle changes, how to adhere to your medications, what pertinent questions to ask your doctor. I've given you many suggestions on how to change your habits and ways to adhere to those changes in order to keep your blood pressure under control. It is necessary to adhere to those changes until they become daily habits in your new healthy lifestyle. Habits is still the word. Hypertension has no symptoms. That is why it is called a silent killer. High blood pressure contributes to other diseases. The higher the blood pressure, the greater the risk for cardiovascular disease, stroke, or kidney disease. Therefore, when hypertension is diagnosed, it's important to follow your healthcare provider's advice. Those with hypertension can modify their lifestyle for effective blood pressure control by changing their dietary, physical, and smoking habits and taking their blood pressure medication as prescribed. Your physician's recommendations are useless unless you choose to follow them. Adherence matters. It's crucial to adhere to your antihypertensive regime to prevent any future urgencies or emergencies. Those consequences caused by unwillingness to follow medical advice will be discussed in an upcoming presentation. Thank you.